Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is said to have many different revelations as well as twists and turns in this film that'll change how we view not just The Last Jedi and The Force Awakens, but the entire sequel trilogy and the Skywalker saga as a whole. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. So, one great thing about Episode 9 is that we do know that this movie really is going to be a revelation film, which either could be a good or a bad thing. Like I have always said and expressed, it's all a matter of how things are going to be executed and how things are really going to be edited together onto the big screen, and how the actors and actresses act in the sequences that are going to reveal these big twists and turns. Now, what's really intriguing about Episode 9, though, is that this movie really is going to be used as the culmination of the Skywalker saga. It really is going to be used and served as a sequel to the past 8 films. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to one of the concept art descriptions, this is where things begin to get very exciting from many new plot details of Episode 9. Now, specifically, it's described that one of the sequences during the second act of the film features Kylo Ren and the Knights of Ren on their quest to the Dark Spire through a swamp. It's said that during their travels to the castle, Kylo comes across the Oracle, which is said to be a large spider-like creature in the form of a practical effect, that has a brief yet vital scene with Kylo Ren as the Knights stand behind and watch. The Oracle is said to dig in within Kylo's mind and reveals his feelings for the girl Rey, and that there is some kind of love that Kylo has for Rey. However, Kylo seeks to rid of this love and how to go about doing it. Part of it has to do with the Oracle giving guidance to Kylo Ren about ridding these feelings in the Dark Spire, which holds a connection to the origins of the dark side. The scene is described to be similar to the Mother Proxima scene in Solo: A Star Wars Story. Another sequence that takes place during the third act of the film involved Mark Hamill filming a scene over at Cardington in front of a green screen in which he was portraying Luke as a Force ghost and exchanging dialogue with what would be unused footage of Leia from the other two films, The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, where Leia meets her brother as a Force ghost. The sequence is said to take place just before the duel between both Ben and Rey, where Leia changes Luke's mind about something to do with Kylo Ren, and that Leia reveals to Luke that she feels great trouble coming for the both of them. So let's go over a couple of parts about this. Now, the one thing that I really do want to point out is the sequence involving Kylo Ren and the Knights of Ren going through this swamp world that leads to the Dark Spire. Now, before they reach the Dark Spire, they run and cross paths with, of course, the Oracle. Now, in case you guys haven't heard about the Oracle, we went over this briefly, I would say, give or take 3 months ago. It's this large spider-like creature that basically is going to be like Mother Proxima. It's going to be a practical effect that communicates with Kylo Ren, where it digs into Kylo's subconscious and reveals these feelings for Rey that he has, this type of love for Rey. And Kylo Ren wants to make sure that he's going to be able to get rid of these feelings, and this creature called the Oracle guides him to go over to the Dark Spire. Now, you can see how everything is beginning to connect. Now, we heard about the Oracle, I would say, like I said, 3 months ago. It's said to be a gigantic form of a Dagobah spider type of thing. Very interesting. We do know that this movie is going to have a lot of practical effects, and, you know, I'm not quite sure how I feel about the main villain being Kylo Ren talking with a large creature like this. I'm not quite sure if it's going to come off as cheesy or if it's going to seem a little too odd or strange. This seems something more like what Rey would go through, where she runs into a gigantic creature talking to her and revealing her feelings about Kylo Ren. I think that would have been the better choice to go. But I think that this is setting up and pretty much establishing that Kylo wants to get rid of those feelings for Rey. As you guys noticed at the very end of The Last Jedi, when Rey shuts the Force bond, when she shuts the door of the Millennium Falcon, you can see that Kylo Ren feels alone. It feels like, you know, that he had these feelings for Rey that are now over because she's separating herself away from him. So the other piece that I also want to go over is how Mark Hamill shot a sequence during January of 2019 this year over at Cardington in front of a green screen, where he was communicating and exchanging dialogue with what was actually going to be inserted with the Leia footage from The Last Jedi and The Force Awakens, where Leia gets to meet her brother Luke Skywalker as a Force ghost. Now, what's really intriguing about this is that this really does allow an emotional moment to be placed within the third act of the movie, which eventually leads to a moment in which Leia unveils that she feels a great disturbance in the Force, right? She feels a great danger coming for both Ben Solo and Rey. And this most definitely has something to do with Darth Sidious and his spirit, as well as the Dark Acolyte. Now, she's changing Luke Skywalker's mind about something to do with Kylo Ren. I'm not quite sure exactly what Leia is really changing Luke's mind about. This could have something to do with what Luke said in The Last Jedi where, I can't save him. Now, the thing about that is, nobody's ever really gone. That line is used once again in the last, or should I say in the Rise of Skywalker trailer. And it seems like that line really is going to be a big thing in this film. Not just being related to Palpatine, but also being related to Ben Solo. Nobody's ever really gone. So this could very well be Leia changing Luke Skywalker's hope in really bringing Ben Solo back. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.